are having an awesome day. Today we will be setting up our Golang environment, and we will be setting up exercism, which is this really cool coding platform that lets people practice and share code. This mainly so that other people can provide feedback on your code, and the feedback helps you learn new things about the language that you're writing your code in, as well as build an awesome community of people trying to help each other out. We will be setting up our Golang environment using Docker. So if you don't have Docker, I recommend installing it so that you can follow along. It's perfectly okay if you don't want to get Docker, you can install it on your machine directly and just follow along there. Docker basically helps me not worry about Windows, Mac, and Linux installation issues. So it provides like a base platform and base environment for me to just write Golang. For those of you who don't know, Docker is basically this really cool tool that lets you make containers, which will basically just hold your code, or in this case, the code that we will be writing, and it sets up the Go environment for you. With containers, you guys can just focus on the code and not worry about the hassle of installing Go from scratch. And I think it's a really good thing. So let's get into it. First, what we will be doing is we need to open your text editor. So this text editor, I'm using Sublime Text. You can use whatever you feel comfortable in. And I'm in my TheOpsGuy folder. And within the TheOpsGuy folder, there's this Go folder, which will be installing all our exercism code in. So we would also need a terminal. So if you're on a Mac, you can just do Command space and terminal, which will bring you to something like this. Of course, this may not look exactly like yours, but yeah, you will get a terminal and we can go from there. So first, what I would want you to do is know your path where you will be writing all your code in. So in my case, I'll be writing in desktop, Git, and in the TheOpsGuy folder. You can choose whatever folder you want to, just make sure you know where you're writing your code in. And then after that, we're going to be making a Docker container that sets up our Golang environment. So I already have the code, the command for that here, over here. Don't worry guys, you can get this from the description down below. Basically what this command is saying to Docker is that we want to run a container. So in this case, we're going to be running the Golang container. And when we spin up that Golang container, it's automatically bring us into the container using the bash shell. Over here, what we're saying is that we want to attach the volume that's in our desktop Git TheOpsGuy Go folder, which is basically this folder that I was showing you last time. And we're gonna mount it to this folder inside the container. So inside the container, we're going to be spinning up a Golang container, which is basically an Ubuntu container. And within that Ubuntu container, we're going to make sure that whatever we write in the Go folder, it's automatically going to go on the Go folder on this container. So it's going to go in the root exercism teams TheOpsGuy folder on your container. So you can just press enter, and this is gonna set up your Go container right here. And this is your bash shell that I was telling you about, the bin bash. This basically opened the bash shell on your container. So now what we can do is we can just copy this path here, and we can just cd into it. Once we're cd'd into it, you can see that we are in the folder that we mounted. Right. So suppose we have a file on our local computer in this folder over here in our desktop TheOpsGuy Go folder. It will automatically go inside this folder on the container. So just an example, I can do hi.txt and then I can save it. This is in that folder, this Go folder that's talking about. If I save it, here you go. So hi.txt would be over here. And if we do a ls, there you go. The hi.txt is here as well. So now we're going to be installing all our exercism folders over here. And this will give us a place where we can do all our exercism projects from. So now we have a Docker Golang container. We should install exercism. So how we can do that is we can run this command over here. Let me just paste it. This basically says that you want to download, so wget will download anything that is present in this link over here. So where did I get this link? This link is directly from the exercism Git page, so I'll link it down below so you can directly download it from there. Or if you want, you can just copy the code from the description. I will be putting this in the description as well. So here you go. So what this is doing, it downloaded a file called exercism linux 64bit.tgz. And now what we want to do is we want to extract this. So we can do that by running this command over here. So before I do that, let me just show you real quick. So if you do ls, you can see the hi.txt over here, and you can see the exercism tgz file that we just downloaded. So what we want to do is we want to just do tar-xf and then the exercism compressed file that you just downloaded. TGZ is basically a compressed file, and what tar-xf is doing is we're uncompressing the file. So you can see here we got the exercism compressed file over here. You can just run this and it will uncompress everything from here. So you can see now we got an exercism file over here and a bunch more stuff that came out of this compressed TGZ file. Now what we can do is we can move this exercism file that we just downloaded, that we just uncompressed, and we can put it over here. So yeah, once we do this, we can just run exercism like this, and there you go. Now we have exercism installed on this container. After we install exercism, what we need to do is we need to configure our token. So we can do that by going to the exercism. We can go to the exercism page right here, and we can either use the begin walkthrough. So the walkthrough will tell you how to like install exercism and things, but you can also follow along this video to know how to do that. So if we just do this, we're trying to copy the hello world project over here. It will give us an instruction saying that we need to configure our token. So what you could do is you can visit this link over here, and the link will basically give you a page like this. So over here you can see that I have a CLI token. What we need to do is we need to just copy the CLI token and put it in this command right here. So I'm gonna really quick put my token and run this command. Just a note, while we're running the command, we'll have to run this command and we'll have to put some extra parameters at the end. So we'll need to do --workspace is equal to /root/exercism. So what this is going to do is it's going to let you download all your projects that you get from exercism and put it into this folder, which is pretty neat. After you've run the configure command, now we have exercism installed on our computer. What we can do is we can now run this command again, and it will download it onto our container. So there you go. You can see that it downloaded the Hello World exercism project into this folder. So I could just show you that real quick over here. There you go. This is the Hello World exercism project. Over here, we can just write our code like normal, and I will teach you how to also upload this code and test this code. So make sure you come back for the next video. We're going to be writing our Hello World code. Thank you. Have a good one.